Okay, I want to quickly talk about this news story right here.
There goes your inventory.
This new video into our newsroom could be a critical piece of evidence in the fire that destroyed a warehouse in Ontario. It took 175 firefighters nearly 15 hours to put this fire out.
So this was a big story yesterday, and we just got footage of the suspect lighting the fires and posting it on Instagram.
You know, we may not get paid enough to live, but these bitches dirt cheap. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. There goes your inventory.
So I guess this guy just went postal. If you guys don't know what postal is, if you grew up in the 90s, postal basically was an overworked postal worker would go in and just go insane and just his co-workers, right? This is the equivalent to that. So this story was out yesterday, and it was a big story then because it was a huge fire that required lots of firefighters, and it was in a toilet paper or paper products company, one of the biggest, right? And it's in California. And what do we know about California? It's a big tinderbox, right? Any fire in California can basically spread to the whole state. We all know this. So it's like double bad. And of course, you know, the first thing with any of these big major warehouse fires are the employees. They evacuated, right? And except for one guy, they couldn't find one person. And as you know, any responsible employer is supposed to do is the minute you clock into a business, they're accountable to you, right? So they had an employee that was missing, and then they spent all this time looking for this employee. And then later we find out that this employee that was missing was the guy that started the fire.
Again, thankfully, nobody was injured in that fire, no firefighters or none of the employees. They were all evacuated safely.
So, Nick, we should note you were just listening in on that news conference. That's why we couldn't go right to you. So this employee, a 29-year-old, did they say what he did there at that plant?
It's unclear exactly what he did. What we know is that they house lots of Kimberly-Clark products here. Again, this is a 1.2 million square foot warehouse here. So very large space filled with products. We know that they load the trucks up and distribute them. We don't know specifically what that.
All right, so let's get into it though. Not only did this guy just completely burn up this warehouse, he actually just torched his life too. He's going away for a long time. And some people are cheering him on. They're starting a GoFundMe to kind of help with his legal fees and whatnot because of what he said in the video. I'm going to say this. If you're not happy with the place that you're working, great. You do you. Just quit. Just leave, right? No one's making him do that job. He probably feels the pressure of doing that job right now because, you know, to be honest, there's not a lot of places hiring right now and maybe he's stuck. But guess what? This company employs thousands of people. Thousands of people work in that warehouse, right? Thousands of people are now out of a job, right? They have nothing to do with this guy at all. They're just going in there, clocking in, clocking out, doing their job, going home, whatever, right? They're now out of a job. Like, nobody cares about the company. The company is going to be fine. They have insurance. They're going to get paid out on this, right? And you know what they're going to do? They're going to use the money that they get from the insurance. They're going to rebuild the warehouse. And you know what they're going to do then? They're going to stock it up with robots and AI because they just got flush with cash now that they could put in to this big old warehouse and fill it up with, you know, Amazon style robots and whatnot. They can do the same job without, you know, taking down the warehouse, without complaining, without HR issues, without workers' comp, all that, right? They're just going to replace them with robots. All the people that they have right now, some of them will get hired back, but not all of them. Like, check out this guy, right? He's a co-worker of the guy that set the warehouse up ablaze.
Montero is stunned to see this video because this person, he says, is his fellow co-worker, Shamil Abdul Karim.
There goes your inventory.
I had just got done talking to him. He had just came over and helped me out with my truck. I was 5 doors down from him.
Yeah, so like what is he supposed to do? Or I mean the company could transfer him to another warehouse, but like how far away do you think they build these warehouses? They're like usually they're in different states. You don't build a multi-million billion dollar warehouse right next to each other, right? Like literally there's one here and then you put another one at a different like hub. So what is he supposed to do? Maybe there's another part of the warehouse that he can work, but then we find out that he's only been there for 3 weeks.
How long have you been working there with the company?
About 3 weeks. Yeah, just started making good money, dude. You know, like
He's probably on probation. He's only been there for 3 weeks. Usually a lot of companies have what is it, like 60 days or something that you have to be there before you get full benefits and whatnot. So he's gonna be one of the first people that they axe, because there's probably somebody else that's been there for years that has more priority over this guy who's only been there for 3 weeks. He's screwed. I mean, right now is not the time to be looking for employment. The guy that started this fire, he is lucky that this didn't become a giant mega fire, because again, this is in California. The whole place could have lit up. He's lucky that it's isolated to this one place. And I'm telling you now, when they rebuild this warehouse, and they will, it's going to be stocked with more AI robots and stuff. Less people are going to work there. So he just doomed a whole like section of the workforce for this company just because he didn't want to quit his job.